Welcome to a new video. It has been a while. I haven't uploaded in a while, and this is even for that, it is a complete new take. This is Legends of Runeterra. This will, I think, be the first Legends of Runeterra video besides the tutorials on this channel. I plan to do a lot more content, new patches about to release with a lot of new cards, and that's hopefully going to be a lot of fun. What I bring to do today is my favorite deck, at least archetype, which is traps. TEEMO Caitlyn traps. This is the deck list that I got from Swim's website. If you don't know about Swimstream, then I don't know what you're doing. He's pretty much the biggest content creator out of my book when it comes to Legends of Runeterra. He has his own website where he ranks all of the different decks, being tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. He says that TEEMO Caitlyn is an off-meta pick. I tend to agree with it, but I enjoy it the most simply because you can get some whack wins and whatnot. I don't intend to do a card by card. If that is something you would like to see later on in the comments, just tell me in the comments. I can either upload a separate video or make a pinned comment. Again, if you have any suggestions, anything that you dislike, that you like, tell me so in the comments. And let's get into it. I intend to just play a few games, play one or two games depending on how long the games are. In Legends of Runeterra, the games usually tend to last around 10 minutes. I might go for like a 10 to 20-minute video. So depending on if this is going to be either a fast win or loss, we can go for a second game. The strengths for this decks are that I don't know necessarily the strengths. It's more like fun. This deck is purely fun. It is semi-consistent. There are some cards that you need to hit, and without those, you just can't do anything. One massive downside to the deck is that it pretty much auto loses to Zed unless they misplay and play a Zed on 3 while you have a Mystic Shot. This hand, for example, is not necessarily good because we don't want to cast Veteran Investigator early whatsoever. What I was looking for was a TEEMO or Puffcap Peddler, and we didn't get either one of those. We do have a Mystic Shot, but I don't see how that could be useful at all. I don't know how a Shivana Viego deck list necessarily makes sense, so maybe we have just luck in the sense of that our opponent plays anything. If you paid a little bit of attention, then you might have seen that there is a Twitch builds. There are 2 Twitch builds deck lists currently. In my decks. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say about that. And I do plan on making a series that entails. I'm fine with playing this because I kind of want to kill this. Yes, which do entails deck lists from my Twitch chat. I do sometimes stream. Lately, I've been streaming more Pokemon than anything else. It is a new game, so I have been enjoying that quite some time. What is he going to do? I'm fine with only blocking this. I'd rather keep my Otterpuss for a bigger chump. Yeah. If there is a deck list that you want me to try to build, try to improve upon, if you think that there could be made improvements, just post the deck code in the comments below. If there is a specific deck that you want me to just tell me to not modify it and just run it as is. That can't hurt at all. If you do see me on Twitch, it is the same name as it is here, Erkato. I am, again, playing currently more of a Pokemon-centric. I'm currently targeting more Pokemon-centric audiences, simply because I'm enjoying the game currently. And I like shiny hunting. So yeah, that's that. I don't think there has been anything special so far. It strikes me and you draw 1. Usually, I would assume he plays a dragon on 5. So I don't think there's necessarily a point on striking it because I can't kill it anyways. So I'm just going to shoot his face. I'm not going to use the prank though because again, I'm waiting for the Puffcap Peddler. It might have been greedy, but he has 5 hand cards anyways. So I don't think there's point necessarily. That is a Viego, which I did not anticipate whatsoever. He does have Challenger, but I'm just going to literally Poison Dart his ass. Because if he then decides to pull in my Otterpuss, I get to Mystic Shot it and it dies. Right? Now he can pull in. Um am I willing to let that burn? No, that is 2 mana for me. I'm just going to play a Chump Wump. I can Mystic Shot him next turn. He doesn't heal. He doesn't do anything though, so that's good for me. We are still not getting what we need to get. The first time an ally dies, summon an Encroaching Mist. Okay, so that's just fine, right? He can block with the Dragon Chow, but the Encroaching Mist is just gonna die at the end of the turn, and it doesn't necessarily do a whole lot. He can chump block, or he doesn't. That's a lot of burn damage that's going to come his way. If we ever find the Puffcap Peddler, that was what I was talking about. Puffcap Peddler is one of the key pieces of loading up his deck. As you can see, we currently have 3 gems speed and 2 um, burst speed cards in our hand. As you can imagine, it would be quite beneficial for us if we actually had anything that benefits of casting spells. I will cast the 2 poison darts, even though we wouldn't necessarily be burning this mana. I just don't think that it's helpful. Or deal 3 to your Nexus. Okay. So he kills 2 things, actually. Mm. When I slay a unit, drain 1 from the enemy Nexus. Okay. I'm just going to damage it down to 3, I assume. He grows every time there is an Encroaching Mist, so I don't think that's necessarily to damage him. Also, he probably pulls in one of those. So yeah. The game plan, as you can imagine, is we're playing TEEMO. We want as many traps as possible in the opponent's deck, and if possible, we want to duplicate those at a given point. All we can do though is hope that that happens, because as you can see, we are not getting anywhere. When I'm summoned or round starts, I'm an Encroaching Mist. Okay, so that's also really, really, really annoying. He currently has 4 creatures. I can shoot something with Mystic Shot. I can also just play a Chump Wump, or I play Insider Knowledge. We currently do have 4, and he has 1 creature that can't that I can block with Otterpuss, but I assume that he. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna Insider Knowledge here. I don't think he necessarily has a lot of spells that deal with that do anything for 2 mana. He seems to be really top heavy. I'm not really scared of the current board state that he has, because if we find a Puffcap Peddler here, we can load up the deck tremendously. He does have a single combat. I will shoot it first. So it essentially just trades. He has no mana left, so there's nothing specific that's going to happen here. He gets another Encroaching Mist that is a 3/3, but again, we have these that hopefully protect us. We did not, in fact, get a Puffcap Peddler, which is astonishing to say the least. We are getting 14 damage to our face. Yeah, there's not really anything that we can do about that. Let's just hope that he doesn't have any burn damage. That is too close for comfort. But again, this was what I was saying at the beginning of the game. If we can't find one of our key pieces, there's nothing really that we get to do about this. And we didn't find our Caitlyn, we didn't find our TEEMO, we didn't find our Puff Capella. We found a lot of engine cards, don't get me wrong. Engine cards are great. But that's the wrong engine though, you know? How much burn do we have? We have 4/7, so we would need to make a bunch of damage happen, which we literally just cannot. What to do? I genuinely do not know, because I don't think that there's anything specific that we can do. We could use Corinna and just hope. So I guess that's the plan. So just load his deck up with even more. Activate in the top 5. Again, we have 7 damage here. So we only need to deal 4 damage over this and the next turn. given that he doesn't have any burn damage. If he has any burn damage, then none of this matters whatsoever. I wonder if he's thinking about BMing or not. We will see. Even if we do lose this, I will upload this simply because I think that is the fair thing to do. He doesn't have any burn damage. Okay. That is 7 damage. So depending on how lucky we get next round, we might be able to do this. If we had one more mana, Caitlyn on board would already be lethal, but we don't, and we drew her really late. So yeah. Again, that is not a threat to us because we have 7 burn damage here. Oh, we got it back. I don't know how Viego works. And he takes it again. 2 damage. We have multiple options of burn. So it looks like we are going to win this round. He gets a slow burn speed spell. There's not really a point of blocking anything. So yeah. I kind of want to save the rest up, these 2 up, for if he casts anything, then I do want to do that. And that is the first win. We lucked that one out. We had none of our engine pieces, but because our opponent was playing a weird ass pile, we got lucky. This is currently gameplay of silver. It's gonna take me a while to get out of silver simply because I play this game mainly for fun. I do have a lot of wild cards, and I intend to get into the game now before the next patch hits, simply so that I have enough wild cards to then craft any deck that I really want to craft, with the cannon, for example, looking really interesting and fun. One of the maybe the first return deck that's going to be viable. Here we have a Zed Fiora list. I haven't seen necessarily Zed Fiora in a while, but as I said earlier, Zed is a dangerous piece for us. He's really hard to deal with, especially if they play it safe. As you can see of the Poro, this person also started in the beta. I do also have that Poro, I just don't use it very often. I do like to play the Octopus on 1, even if my opponent doesn't play anything. I will also play the Puffcap Pup here, simply because 3 more shrooms are 3 more shrooms. It is also quick attack. I don't see how this could end bad whatsoever, but as you can see, our opponent has 3 mana left. The likelihood of his Zed or Fiora dying immediately are minimal. Yeah, there's not really anything that I can do. I'm just gonna pass here. He's probably gonna focus him. Okay. I'm fine with this completely. If he has a spell that gives barrier, we can remove that. But I assume he has something that pumps it by 3. He has something that gives barrier. That is incredibly unlucky for him. And incredibly lucky for us. He's going to lose his Fiora. We are going to shuffle even more Poison Puffcaps into his deck. I think I will not even play the prank here because next turn we have 4 mana and 2 spell mana, meaning that if we do play the Lecturing Yordle, we can play both poison darts that we are getting off of him. He has 1 mana available. We will shoot him immediately, simply is to discourage him from blocking our Octopus. Now, don't get me wrong, he is able to cast a spell that gives him tough. If he has it. He doesn't seem to have it. He also might have forgotten that I do have a poison dart in hand. Maybe he has something that stops it from happening, but he doesn't. This is the second Fiora that we have dealt with now. There is only 1 Fiora left in the deck. We still have a Get Excited, and we also have a Caitlyn still left in our hand. So this is going well. How has he drawn every single one though? Like, I am impressed about how we were capable of dealing with all of them, but how has he drawn every single one? I'm fine with this being destroyed here. I will be playing a Caitlyn. He cannot single combat and something to protect his Fiora here. Even if it does level, it turns into a 4-2 because the damage doesn't get healed. This time around, I am fine with using this. An ally starts a free attack. This sadly only removes power and nothing else. Our units have quick attack. So I think I'm actually getting rid of this. and saying okay and just going. We do have a lot of insider knowledge, and knowledge is power, but in this scenario, it's not necessarily helpful. Another shroom triggers here. We are getting another poison dart, which we can then use to kill this off. I am really interested into seeing what he's going to do with this. This is going to give him 3 health. Okay. I'm going to actually get rid of an investigator because we have more than enough draw power in our hand. I don't think one extra body is going to help him. That is fine with me. He used 6 mana already, 2 spells. We do have a poison dart. He is up to 4/2 though. We have to remember that. This card is a 4-cost card. So what we can do is we can Insider Knowledge and Poison Dart, which is going to be the play here. So we Poison Dart, which is going to add even more shrooms to his list. We are going to Insider Knowledge. Now what we have to do is hope that in the first 3 cards of his library is at least 1 Flash Bomb, because otherwise he does get to play the Lauren Bladekeeper, which is quite annoying. That is a shroom. That is not what we were looking for. Our Caitlyn needs 1 more bomb to trigger. This is also not what we were looking for. I mean, in total, we do have Poison Dart Mystic Shot, so it's not the worst, but it's also not great. We currently only have 7 mana left, so I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here, because we could play the Karina Mastermind and trigger the top 5 cards, which is then most likely to have a Flash Bomb in it. The issue with that is that it doesn't really help us a whole lot. We do have 3 damage here, and he needs to kill 2 more creatures, so we could just deal 3 to his face and then Karina on the next turn, which I really like. So we just suddenly shift to a burn strategy. We have Karina in hand and double Insider Knowledge, so the odds of him actually living this is minimalistic, especially if we consider the fact that he does need to kill 4 creatures with Fiora, and I don't see how he gives us another creature. This will pump him up to 6 health, which we don't really care for whatsoever. We're going to take 3 damage here. Fiora only needs 1 more knockout. We shoot his face. He's down to 2 health. And then we just use the remaining Insider Knowledges to finish this game. Beautiful. The odds of him actually surviving this are there, right? Only half of his deck has shrooms in it, but the fact that we can make him draw 4 cards and he's drawing at least 2 more, because we aren't forced to play a creature. And it's over. Yeah, those were really fast 2 games. I don't know if he didn't have any Zeds, but to be fair, he drew all 3 Fioras in his library, so I don't think he necessarily can complain. If you have any recommendations for me, if you have any deck lists that you want me to play, if you have anything that you want to tell me, or if you have any emotions that you want to express, please do so, or feel free to do so in the comment section below. I will try to post more Legends of Runeterra videos, some that I build with Twitch chat, some that they just gave me their deck lists, and some decks that I personally enjoy. Maybe we will also do the currently best top decks of the meta, if that is something you are looking forward to seeing. Again, leave a like. If you enjoyed the video, leave a dislike if you didn't enjoy the video, and hopefully see you next time.